Now, we've been able to get an up-close look at what these Astros are doing to prepare for the 2020 season, but we caught up with the Houston Chronicle's Chandler Rome to get a better understanding what this team could be facing throughout this entire season. We started our conversation with addressing the muted mood this year to begin spring training.
It's completely different. I mean, we've hardly talked baseball. It's been all sign stealing, it's been all the controversy, it's been all the reaction to the kind of the vitriol around the game. I don't think we've ever seen on the record vitriol like we've seen from player to player that are just excoriating the Astros from every corner. The Astros have tried to have like kind of 2 days. They did the big apology when they got to camp, and then the first full squad day, they tried to make those 2 days as like, we're done talking about 2017, but I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. These guys are going to have to deal with this throughout the year. The road is going to be really hostile to them, and key to their season is going to be how they handle it. They have a certified players manager in Dusty Baker, a guy that they think can galvanize the clubhouse and really get them on one track, and that's going to be crucial for this club.
Yeah, and you mentioned it right there, but the vitriol and just from not only the players but the fans, is there any sense of how difficult this season will be when they face that for 162 games?
I kind of think it's unprecedented. I don't know if you can know. These guys, I think it is important to note, though, these guys get heckled everywhere they go. Like, even if the Astros wouldn't have stolen signs and this controversy wouldn't be a thing, they get heckled everywhere they go. It's going to be a little bit different this year. I'd imagine they're going to have a little bit of extra security. I'd imagine, the ballparks that are sometimes lifeless and don't have many people in the stands, people will buy tickets to watch the Astros and come yell at the Astros, quite frankly. So it could be a tough one for them, but this is a group of veteran guys. I'm unsure that heckling and yelling at them is going to affect their baseball ability. Jose Altuve is still a really good hitter. Justin Verlander is still a really good pitcher. This is a really talented club. I just think it's really all going to come down to what's between their ears and what goes on in the clubhouse.
Yeah, you mentioned it right there. Very talented club. Obviously, having replaced the likes of a Garrett Cole. Is Lance McCullers a guy that can do that?
I don't know if you can replace Garrett Cole with one person. I mean, the season he had last year was unprecedented. It's one of the best seasons by an Astros starting pitcher in franchise history. Lance McCullers is a guy that when he's healthy, we've seen what he can do. He's an all-star, got one of the best breaking balls in baseball. He's kind of a tenacious competitor, kind of that bulldog sort of guy. They're going to have to be careful with him because when you're coming off Tommy John surgery, you have sort of an innings limit in place, but the organization has shown that they're willing to exceed innings limits. They did it with Jose Urquidy last year, so it'll all depend on Lance McCullers' health, and Dusty Baker just said it. If Lance McCullers is healthy and if he's throwing the way they know he can throw, this is a 1-2-3 that with Justin Verlander and Zach Greinke that really can't be beat in the big leagues.
Is there an X factor, you being around this team, is there an X factor to this team that could spark maybe another World Series title run?
Maybe it's Kyle Tucker, a guy that he graduated his prospect status last year. He came up in September and really showed that he probably belongs in the big leagues every day, but the Astros outfield is really crowded. Obviously, Josh Reddick has not produced in the last 2 years in right field. I'd imagine this would be a pretty open competition in spring. With the 26th man, you would have to think Kyle Tucker has a shot at making the opening day roster, and then after that, this is a guy with the sort of power and athleticism and speed that can really open some eyes. So maybe Kyle Tucker, if he can put it all together and stay in the big leagues for a full year, maybe he's the guy that kind of is that X factor.
And lastly, we'll get you out of here on this, but you talked about the talent, and a lot of people are overlooking that. Can this team win a World Series this year?
Sure. They're the most talented team in the American League West. Again, it's going to depend on how they keep things in their clubhouse, whether they can keep on a one-track mind, whether Dusty Baker can keep the outside noise from infiltrating the clubhouse. And then, the Yankees are really good. Even though, they got Garrett Cole, but they were really good before they got Garrett Cole, too. So, if judging on talent alone, it should come down to a Yankees, Astros, maybe ALCS. But again, there's a lot more to go before then. The Astros have a lot of work to do to kind of repair their image and to keep their clubhouse as one.
All right, Chandler Rome, the Houston Chronicle. Chandler, thanks so much for your time and have a great season.
All right, thanks, guys.
It all adds up to what looks like it's going to be one of the most interesting seasons in Astros baseball history, and it all begins March 26th at home against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
That'll do it for us here on Houston Spring Training in West Palm Beach. For Matt Roberts, I'm Chris Tavares. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the season.